Hey everyone, ever imagine building your own AI?
Like
Like
that.
something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive takes us into the world of AI infrastructure.
hmm
We're not just talking theory here, but like a real-world blueprint for making an AI system a reality.
And what's fascinating is that this isn't science fiction anymore.
Right.
The document we're exploring lays out an AI architectural infrastructure and environment implementation framework.
Okay.
Essentially, a guide to building your own AI system.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So we've all heard of AI in the cloud, using services online,
Yeah.
but this document seems really focused on creating a secure setup on your own servers,
Right.
especially for sensitive data.
Yeah.
Expert speaker, why would a company go through all the trouble when cloud-based AI seems so accessible?
You've hit on a critical point.
Okay.
While cloud-based AI is great for general use and getting started quickly,
Yeah.
having your own infrastructure gives you a level of control that's becoming increasingly attractive,
Gotcha.
especially for organizations dealing with sensitive data. It's
Mm.
like the difference between renting a workshop and building your own.
Yeah.
You have more control over the tools,
Uh-huh.
the environment, and ultimately the output.
And speaking of tools, this document dives right into the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, things get serious.
It does.
They start talking about GPUs.
Right.
Those are the specialized processors that power AI, right?
They are.
And they specifically mention needing ones that can handle a 70B model.
Yeah,
Now, I have to admit, that sounds intimidating.
it sounds impressive.
Yeah,
And it is. This isn't about plugging an AI into your everyday computer.
right.
This document is talking about some heavy-duty processing power.
Okay.
To understand a 70B model, think of it as a measure of the AI's complexity. The B stands for billions.
Billions.
Billions of parameters or connections within the AI system.
Wow.
It's a way of gauging the AI's learning capacity and sophistication.
Yeah.
A 70B model is comparable to some of the most advanced AI models out there, capable of complex language processing and problem solving.
So we're not talking about a simple chatbot here.
No, no.
This is getting into, like, next-level AI brain power territory.
Right.
But back to the hardware.
Yeah.
How accessible is this kind of technology? Are we talking about needing a supercomputer the size of a building?
It's a great question
Yeah.
because it gets to the heart of what's changing in AI.
Okay.
While those top-tier 70B models do require significant processing power,
Yeah.
the document provides options.
Okay.
It even breaks down the costs in TieBot,
Huh, interesting.
suggesting a specific focus for implementation.
Okay.
It recommends something like an NVIDIA H100 GPU for those high-end models.
Okay.
But for companies looking to develop systems comparable to, say, a GPT 3.5,
Yeah.
a single NVIDIA RTX A6000 could be a good starting point.
Okay, so it's serious equipment, but not necessarily out of reach for a company really wanting to invest in AI.
Yeah.
But what really caught my eye is that it's not just about raw processing power.
Yeah,
This document goes deep on databases,
it does.
and not just the kind you'd expect.
Right.
Can you shed some light on this, expert speaker?
Yeah.
Why so many different types of databases for an AI system?
It's about how AI learns and operates.
Okay.
This document highlights the importance of data management
Right.
with relational databases,
Uh-huh.
knowledge graph databases,
Yeah.
and even vector databases.
Wow. Okay.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
If the processing power is the brain,
Yeah.
these databases are the AI's memory and understanding of the world.
Okay, so we're talking about giving the AI different ways to organize and process information.
Yeah,
Almost like how our own brains have specialized areas, right?
precisely.
Okay.
A relational database is your classic rows and columns
Right.
for structured data.
Okay.
But a knowledge graph database, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, how so?
This is about relationships between data points, creating a web of interconnected information.
Mm.
Think of it like a massive family tree,
Okay.
but for concepts and ideas.
Interesting.
This helps the AI understand context
Yeah.
and make connections that go beyond simple keyword matching.
So it's not just memorizing facts.
Right.
It's actually starting to understand the relationships between things.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we have vector databases,
Yeah.
which are even more abstract.
Okay.
They deal with embeddings,
Embeddings.
which are numerical representations of complex concepts.
Okay.
It's like translating something like happiness
Yeah.
into a language the AI can understand and process mathematically.
Wow. So we're talking about teaching AI not just to think, but to understand nuances
Yeah.
and even emotions, at least in a way.
In a way, yeah.
That's incredible.
It is fascinating.
But with all this power comes a lot of responsibility, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of responsibility, the document goes on to emphasize security and access control. It's not just anyone can walk up to this AI system and start tinkering.
Right, absolutely not.
Okay.
You're building a system that could potentially access, process,
Yeah.
and learn from incredibly sensitive information.
Right?
Security is paramount.
Okay.
This document is very clear about the need for robust measures,
Like what kind of measures?
such as role-based access control,
Okay.
encryption,
Huh.
and data masking.
So it's about protecting the data itself, but also controlling who has access to the AI
Exactly.
and what they can do with it.
Precisely. Think of it like building a bank vault.
What?
You need strong walls, multiple locks,
Yeah.
and only authorized personnel can access the most valuable assets.
Makes sense.
The potential for misuse is real,
Right.
and the consequences could be significant.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So data masking, is that kind of like putting a shield around certain pieces of information?
Yeah, you could say that.
So even if the AI sees it, it can't necessarily use it directly.
That's a great way to put it. Data masking is about protecting individual privacy,
Right.
even within the AI's learning environment.
Okay.
The AI can still analyze trends and patterns
Yeah.
without being able to identify someone based on their sensitive information.
Interesting.
This ties back to the importance of having your own AI infrastructure.
Okay.
You're not just protecting data,
Mhm.
you're ensuring ethical AI development and deployment.
This document seems very aware of that ethical dimension,
It does.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered the tech, the security, the ethics, but now let's talk practicality.
Sure.
Does this document give us a sense of what it takes to actually get an AI system like this up and running?
It does.
Okay, good.
The document provides a phased implementation plan.
Right.
Starting with planning and assessment,
Okay.
you need to define your goals
Yeah.
and understand your resources.
Makes sense.
Then you move on to infrastructure deployment,
Okay.
which is where you actually build the system based on the hardware and software specifications we discussed.
Right.
This is followed by testing and fine-tuning to make sure everything works as intended.
Right.
And finally, the exciting part,
Yeah, the rollout.
operational rollout, where you integrate the AI into your business processes.
So it's a journey, not just a flip of a switch.
Exactly.
How long are we talking realistically to go from zero to AI?
Well, the document suggests that with the right resources and focus,
Yeah.
a company could potentially have a basic system up and running within a year.
Okay, so about a year.
Of course, this is just a general time frame.
Right.
A smaller company might start with a more modest setup focused on a specific use case,
Yeah, that
while a larger corporation with more resources might have a more aggressive timeline.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about the cost?
Yeah.
We touched on those high-end GPUs, but what about the whole shebang? Is
I
this
agree.
something that requires a board meeting and a whole bunch of investor calls?
Well, the document does provide some cost estimates, which are interesting because they're actually broken down in Thai baht.
Really? Huh.
It estimates that the initial hardware investment could be around 830,000 baht,
Okay.
which includes servers, storage,
Yeah.
and those powerful GPUs.
Right. And then what about, like, the upkeep?
Right. There are the annual recurring costs,
Okay.
which cover software licenses, maintenance,
Right.
and potential API access fees.
Okay, so it's not an insignificant investment.
No, it's not.
So what's that looking at, roughly, for annual cost?
The document estimates annual recurring costs to be about 545,000 stout.
Okay, so it is a commitment then.
It is an investment.
Yeah.
But for companies serious about integrating AI into their core operations,
Yeah.
the potential benefits could far outweigh the costs.
It really puts things into perspective.
It does.
Building your own AI infrastructure is a serious commitment,
Yeah.
both financially
Right.
and in terms of the expertise required.
Absolutely.
But for companies looking to leverage AI for a competitive edge, it's an investment worth considering.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Think about the efficiencies,
Right.
the insights,
Yeah.
the ability to automate complex tasks.
Yeah.
Those have the potential to transform a business.
Right.
And this document provides a roadmap for making that transformation a reality.
It's like we're not just talking about building a new department here.
Right.
We're talking about building a new kind of intelligence within a company.
And that's a powerful thought.
It is.
Yeah, what struck me about this document
Right.
wasn't just the technical details,
Yeah.
but the emphasis on taking ownership of AI.
Okay.
It's not just about using AI. It's about shaping its development
Right.
and integration into the very fabric of how a business operates.
This whole deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening.
It has.
It's like we've gone from watching sci-fi movies about AI
Yeah.
to flipping through the actual instruction manual.
I like that. Yeah.
So this document mentioned data privacy quite a bit. Do you think building our own AI infrastructure could be the key to keeping our data more secure in this age of artificial intelligence?
It's certainly a possibility.
Okay.
If companies control the entire system,
Okay.
from the hardware to the algorithms to the data used for training,
Right.
it gives them a tremendous amount of responsibility.
Yeah.
It also means they're accountable
Right.
for how that data is used.
Okay.
It could lead to greater transparency and control over how AI interacts with our information.
So instead of our data being out there,
Yeah.
used to train some giant AI in the cloud,
Right.
we have the potential to be more intentional about it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And that's a powerful idea.
It is.
Building our own AI infrastructure could empower companies to be more responsible stewards of the data they collect and use.
Okay.
It could lead to more ethical AI development and deployment,
Yeah.
where privacy and security are not afterthoughts, but fundamental design principles.
That's a great point.
It's a lot to think about.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
This deep dive has given us a lot to chew on. To our listeners,
Yes.
we hope this exploration into the world of AI infrastructure has been as fascinating for you as it has been for us.
I hope so too.
It's a rapidly evolving field, and this is just the beginning of the journey.
It certainly is.